Every year, Americans throw away billions of dollars in free money, ignoring 401k matches that can double their savings, parking cash in accounts that earn $1 a year when they could be earning $400, and risking debt spirals with zero emergency funds. Most don't realize the small choices draining $750,000 from their retirement. Why are so many missing America's biggest personal finance opportunity right now, and how hard is it to fix the leaks before it's too late? A mid-career worker with access to a 401k match can double their retirement savings with almost no effort. Yet millions never claim the full amount. The most common match formula in 2026 is straightforward. For every dollar you put in, your employer adds 50 cents, up to 6% of your pay. On a $60,000 salary, that is $1,800 of free money each year, just for contributing what is already part of your compensation package. Still, about 30% of eligible workers do not contribute enough to get the full match, leaving an average of $1,300 on the table each year. The numbers add up fast. Over a 30-year career, missing out on that match can cost nearly $750,000 in lost retirement wealth, thanks to the power of compound growth. The match is not a bonus or a perk. It is a guaranteed return, often outpacing any investment available in the market. Yet confusion about plan rules, inertia, and the pressure of immediate expenses leads many to skip or underfund their contributions. For many, the missed dollars are not even noticed in the moment. Paychecks arrive, but the employer match goes unclaimed, quietly reducing future security. Companies include these matches as part of total compensation, but when employees do not act, they are effectively rejecting their own pay. The result is a silent leak, draining away the easiest money most workers will ever be offered. Traditional banks hold the vast majority of Americans' cash, yet they offer almost nothing in return. In January 2026, the average checking account at a major branch bank pays 0.01% interest. That means a $10,000 balance earns $1 over an entire year, less than the cost of a cup of coffee. Meanwhile, the cost of living continues to climb, with inflation averaging 3% annually, silently eroding the value of every dollar left idle. At the same time, online high-yield savings accounts are paying 4 to 4.5% annual percentage yield. The same $10,000 in one of these accounts generates $400 to $450 a year, which is 400 times more than a traditional checking account. The difference is not subtle, yet most Americans never make the switch. Banks like Chase and Bank of America keep their rates anchored near zero, even as the Federal Reserve's rate increases have pushed market rates higher for years. The reason is simple, and it is inertia. Customers rarely move their money, and banks pocket the spread. In 2025 alone, big banks earned billions of dollars in net interest income, much of it funded by deposits earning pennies. This is not about a complicated investment strategy or hidden fees. It is the routine practice of leaving cash in accounts that barely keep up with inflation, while better options are just a few clicks away. For households, the real cost shows up every year as lost interest and shrinking purchasing power. The gap between what is possible and what is typical grows wider, and the banks reap the rewards of inaction. A sudden car breakdown, a surprise medical bill for nearly a third of American households, even a routine $1,000 expense can create a financial crisis. According to the Federal Reserve, 27% of Americans have no emergency savings at all. The reality hits hardest for those in the middle of their careers, people with steady jobs, kids in school, and a mortgage or rent due every month. One unexpected repair or dental bill, and the only option left is a credit card with a sky-high interest rate. The margin between stability and spiraling debt is often razor-thin. Studies show that just $500 in emergency savings is enough to prevent most families from falling into a debt trap after a minor shock. Without that cushion, a flat tire or an urgent prescription can turn into months of minimum payments, late fees, and mounting stress. The pressure is not limited to low-income households. Even those with decent paychecks are vulnerable if their savings account sits empty, while every dollar is spoken for elsewhere. Financial experts recommend keeping 3 to 6 months of expenses in a safe, accessible account, preferably a high-yield savings account that earns some growth while staying liquid. But for millions, the first step is simply building that initial buffer. The absence of an emergency fund is not just a statistic. It is the moment a small problem becomes a long-term setback, and the difference between weathering a storm and being swept away by it. Credit card debt quietly drains billions from American households every year. The typical mid-career worker now carries a balance of $6,800, according to data from late 2025. With average interest rates climbing to 23%, that single balance racks up $1,564 in interest charges annually. Money that never pays down the principal, never builds wealth, and never comes back. For many, there is no big purchase behind the debt, just a steady accumulation of expenses that outpace savings. The result is a revolving cycle. Minimum payments stretch for years, and interest becomes a monthly tax on the paycheck. Credit card companies design their products around this inertia, targeting balance-carrying customers with high rates and low minimums. But 2026 brought a rare opening. For those who act, balance transfer cards are offering 0% interest for up to 21 months. That is a window to move thousands of dollars from high-rate cards and pay down the balance without the crushing cost of interest. The difference is dramatic. A year at 0% can erase hundreds in charges and break the cycle that keeps debt growing faster than paychecks. A new worker just starting out faces a choice that quietly shapes their entire financial future. By setting aside $5,000 a year from age 25 and letting that money grow at a steady 7% return, the result at retirement is staggering over $1.1 million. Add a typical employer match, raising the annual total to $7,500, and the final sum climbs to $1.65 million. The difference is not just a bigger nest egg, it is the result of time multiplying every dollar through compounding. Starting 10 years later cuts the final amount nearly in half, a gap that can never be recovered by saving more later. Yet only 36% of Americans keep a long-term financial plan. Without clear goals, it is easy to lose $250 to $350 each month on forgotten subscriptions and impulse purchases, money that could be working for the future. Early action and intentional planning turns small steps into million-dollar outcomes, proving that the biggest opportunity in personal finance is often just getting started. Small steps unlock serious gains. Capturing your full 401k match often takes just one email to human resources or a quick update in your benefits portal. That single action can reclaim over $1,000 each year and hundreds of thousands of dollars over a career. Moving your savings to a high-yield savings account takes 10 minutes online, and your money starts earning 400 times more than a standard checking account. Tackling credit card debt is similar. A balance transfer application can take 15 minutes. It can open the door to 0% interest for over a year and save hundreds in wasted payments. Setting up a basic budget with an app like YNAB or Rocket Money takes about 1 hour each month. It often reveals $200 to $300 in forgotten subscriptions or impulse buys. Switching to a cashback card can add $300 to $600 a year on everyday spending. Each fix is fast, low friction, and stacks up to thousands in recovered wealth. No financial expertise required. The only barrier is getting started. Today, billions still slip through America's fingers, not from lack of options, but from silent habits and overlooked choices. As banks profit from inertia and compounding clocks tick, every day lost becomes wealth that cannot be recovered. The real opportunity is not hidden. It is waiting, unclaimed, right now. What will you do next?